'82, I was 17, my old man was 55. If you do the math between the two of us, that's 72 years alive. An eternity, so it seemed to me. How could anything live that long? Now I say my folks were only 84 the year that they passed on. For a little while it seems you got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look around and you see 100 years ain't what it used to be. And my grandpa Roy, when he was a boy in 1904, he was taught by men who fought in the actual Civil War. And only 8 decades passed and my high school class put the tassels on the other side. Started on our way full of naivete on the great American ride. The months and years slide past, each more quickly than the last.
I believe so.
Okay. We are rolling.
Josh Arnold, investment consultant, brings your Garage Logic podcast number 1631, October 2nd, 2025. 89 degrees was the record high on this day on 2 occasions, 1953 and 2023. And it remained chilly. In 1974, it was 22 degrees on this day in 1974. Do yourself a favor and call Josh Arnold. Call him at 952-925-5608 for a free 48-minute consultation.
Hail the flashlight king.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Haidt in the newsroom, and of course, the Rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Soucheray.
Paul Ward writes, "You are a moron. You get more like Joe Biden every day. You might have passed him on the dementia scale. The guy was getting a fake death certificate to prove his wife was dead, you idiot. Your reading comprehension is awful." It was right in the story. Good luck, exclamation point.
I said that yesterday, but you guys just kept talking.
That's
I said it was for his wife.
The immigration fraud, and he had a death certificate, and I was puzzled. And so I'm a moron.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Alan. Happy birthday to you.
I got news for you. You're going to have to start assembling those for the Donald.
Uh-oh. What I missed today?
Because the cheese is slipping off the cracker.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I went and listened to the first 18 minutes of the speech to the generals.
He's all over the map.
What kind of cheese?
I told you yesterday he was talking about steps.
Oh, yeah.
How you take the steps. Now, what was the other thing he was talking about?
But you were talking about that out of context.
Well, not really.
There was context.
Not really.
There was context.
What was the
for it.
context?
He was talking about Biden falling down.
Right, and so his answer to that is to go as slowly as possible.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. He's not falling. That's fine, Kenny.
I'm
okay with that, Kenny.
Have you seen you walk?
Yeah, you walked into this glass door about a half a dozen times.
I resent the fact that people challenge the way I walk.
I walk every day.
Well, it looks like
I walk fine.
It looks like you got a full diaper.
Jesus. I walk just fine.
Is this how the show's going to go?
Quickly
Let's not do
turned
this
into
today.
turned into an attack on Joe, didn't it?
Yeah, and I'm getting attacked now on and off the air for looking like Orange Man, so I'm not. I'm just...
You got a haircut, though.
Hey, Joe and the guys. Please don't use my name. Oh, thank God I didn't. But I was listening to the podcast yesterday, October 1st, and Reavers brought up voter fraud. This last election, me and my wife Is that correct English? Me and my wife?
Me and my wife.
Yeah,
Why not?
because you moved
Well,
the
it
second
should be
piece.
my wife and I because I went to vote, not me went to vote.
That's a good point.
You know what? I'm being ridiculous.
No,
I don't really care. What
words
it is.
matter.
Anyway, I'm not going to say his name. The last election, me and my wife went to vote where we usually vote on the Saturday before Election Day. After we voted, my wife asked the gal if there was a way she could see if we had voted in 2020. She looked it up and told us that it says we did. And we found that to be very interesting because we hadn't voted that year.
Interesting.
We went to the same place on the Saturday before the election day in 2020, and it wasn't open. So we didn't vote that year. I was an over-the-road trucker at the time, the reason we vote on the Saturday before. We did pass the info on to the appropriate people, and they said they are looking into it. It's kind of funny how the feds want Minnesota's voting data, and the Dems are fighting against it. Thanks, and I love the show. I won't say his name.
God, I'm sure that's purely coincidental.
Well, what he didn't include, and I would find interesting, is why did they ask that, I wonder?
They were curious because they're GLers. Because there should be suspicion with all of this nonsense.
And presumably in 2020, his voting place might have been closed because of COVID, right? Would have been the fall of 2020. We were in the thick of
Yeah, we were.
screaming at neighbors and wearing masks
Well,
and
that's-
standing 10 feet apart.
It was
and-
such a critical time that we had to have, carloads of ballots being dropped off at mail-in locations. That's how much
Have we?
crisis it was.
We haven't talked about the feds wanting the voter information on the show, have we, Joe? I'm wondering.
We haven't.
How do you feel about that?
I don't think they'll get it, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I can relate to that story, by the way. I was so upset that my grandparents had voted for Joe Biden that I did not visit their gravesite that year.
Okay, swing and a miss.
Now, according to
that's
what
just a terrible thing to tell people. That's just a terrible, terrible thing.
According to what I'm reading, election officials at polling places do not have access to info about whether you voted in previous elections.
Huh.
Well, thanks, John. You can take it up with the unnamed emailer.
They looked at him falling downstairs every day. Every day the guy's falling downstairs. He said, "It's not our president. We can't have it." I'm very careful, when I walk downstairs I'm on stairs, like these stairs. I walk very slowly. Nobody has to set a record.
That's right.
Just try not to fall, because it doesn't work out well. A few of our presidents have fallen, and it became a part of their legacy. We don't want that. You walk nice and easy. You don't have to set any record. Be cool.
Just be cool, Joe.
Be cool when you walk down, but don't bop down the stairs.
You
So one thing with Obama, I had zero respect for him as a president, but he would bop down those stairs. I've never said, da-da-da-da-da-da, bop, bop, bop. He'd go down the stairs, wouldn't hold on. I said, it's great. I don't want to do it. I guess I could do it. But eventually, bad things are going to happen.
Yep.
And it only takes once.
Yep.
But he did a lousy job as president.
I don't understand why you criticize him for that. He's being very relatable. It's like you're sitting in a cafe with him. It's great. He's putting everybody at ease.
You know what he does, Ken? He gives you the Such compliment. He gives
He's letting you in, is what he's doing. He's letting you in.
I'm really happy about the way you walked down the stairs. You're an absolute S president, but you walked down the stairs.
You can really do stairs.
That's funny, man. That's
Bippity bop, bop,
hilarious.
bop. Boom, boom, bop, 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 bop.
Oh, you guys. You're funny.
Well, we got a little problem in Des Moines.
Oh, boy,
Boy,
am I
do
glad
we.
you're bringing this up.
Oh, boy.
Just a bit of a problem. The super of Iowa's largest school district was detained last week by the immigration folks. He falsely claimed a doctoral degree when applying for the job 2 years ago, apparently, and was hired anyway, even after the school board learned about the misrepresentation. Why do you think that might be? Ian Roberts, who immigration authorities say was living and working in the U.S. illegally and who resigned this week as the Des Moines Super, claimed in his 2023 application that he received a doctorate in urban educational leadership from Morgan State University in 2007. The Associated Press obtained the records through a public records request. Although Roberts was enrolled in that doctoral program from 2002 to 2007, the school's public relations office confirmed in an email that he did not receive that degree. It declined to say which degree requirements he had not met. The Des Moines School Board learned before hiring Roberts that he had not received the degree, but it still chose him to lead the district, which serves about 30,000 students. As part of the background check process that was done at the time, it indicated that he began but did not complete a degree at Morgan State. District spokesman Phil Roeder told the Associated Press. The background check was conducted by a third party, is not a public record, Roeder said. On Wednesday evening, that would have been, was that last night? Yes. The board released a statement saying, well, let's see, what's the date of this? Today. On Wednesday evening, the board released a statement saying Roberts provided a resume to a consulting company in which he indicated he had earned a doctorate from Morgan State. But the search firm later flagged that he had not. A revised resume showing Roberts did not receive the doctorate from Morgan State was provided to the board. So they had the board. They had the document. But they hired him. And now they're saying the Des Moines School Board is a victim of deception by Dr. Roberts. Why are they calling him doctor? He doesn't have the PhD.
Are you sure?
That's what they say.
Okay.
He's challenging in order to deport him to his native Guyana. He is in jail in Sioux City. When asked to comment on Roberts' false application claim, his attorney, Alfredo Parrish, said he was looking into the matter.
Oh, well, that's nice.
We're one day closer.
Right.
In his application materials, Roberts wrote that he had a doctorate in educational leadership from Trident American University. I've never heard of that one.
What is that?
I don't know.
I got to look that up.
Hell, Morgan State's hard enough. Roeder said the board's background check confirmed that Roberts did receive that degree from it's an online school.
Oh. I was just about to go there. Chandler, Arizona.
Oh, but it's called Trident University International. See, school officials declined to comment.
One day, one night, Saturday is all right. Trident University.
The false claim on Roberts' resume might not have been legally disqualifying, but it may have raised concerns about his integrity. Really? Educational administration experts said. That's a pretty big discrepancy, said Sadika Jubo, managing partner of the School Liability Expert Group, a New Jersey firm that provides expert witnesses. God. I think red flags would go up for the district if they're making misrepresentations on their CV. It is this person of moral character? Oh, why bother with that? There's no moral character left in the country. They're going to be in charge of the district, money, funds, people's lives. Is this somebody we want to hire? Well, they hired him. So, should I continue?
Well, Trident
He ran in the Olympics for Guyana. He was an Olympic
Why are you pronouncing
athlete.
it that way? Isn't it Ghana?
No, this is Guyana. This is
different. This is a different Anna. Gotcha.
His biography on the Des Moines website, the district website, touted the doctorate, misidentifying the degree with no mention of Morgan State. Trident was acquired by American Intercontinental University in 2020. It's a for-profit university that offers online degree programs. The AP confirmed some of the other degrees and places of employment listed on Roberts' resume, including his undergraduate degree from Coppin State in 1998 and a master's from St. John's University in 2000. I believe that would be the St. John's on the East Coast. Georgetown,
heard of it. Yeah.
Georgetown University did not respond to emails seeking comment about Roberts' 2013 master's degree. So this guy, he just put down schools that he wanted to attend. His employment as a super at Mill Creek Township School District in Erie, Pennsylvania. He said that. He said he was a network super at St. Louis Public Schools and a principal and teacher at Baltimore City Public Schools. That was confirmed by each district. After he got the Des Moines job, but before his term began, Roberts was at the center of a costly personnel settlement involving his treatment of a key subordinate longtime colleague. That was intended to be kept secret. The former director of human resources for the Mill Creek Township School District, Melody Ellington, claimed that she faced unspecified unlawful treatment after she was hired by and worked for Roberts from July 1, 2021 through September 30, 2022. They had worked together previously in St. Louis, where Ellington was Melody was the budget director and Roberts was a network super. She claims she was pushed out of her. Oh, hell with this. Here's why I bring this up. It's not surprising. But in the Super Club, they got such a good deal. The Super Club is it's such an enviable club to be in because you don't really do anything. But you get a lot of money, and you get about $800 a month to pretend you have expenses, and you get a car, and you get the pension, you get the health benefits, you get summers off. It's a hell of a club to be in. They weren't more protective of their club than this. You're going to let this fraudster in and ruin your reputation for the Super Club? How could this be? How could you hire this fraud? How would if supers around the country knew this, they would have flown to Des Moines and say, "Harumph! This guy is not suitable to join our club."
That's an interesting angle.
I don't want to be a member of any club that would have him.
Instead of taking it out on him, you're taking it out.
I'm taking it out on the other supers.
Yeah.
You blew it, you supers.
Don't they all eventually turn into politicians anyway?
No, hell, they all retired at 50 and live in Florida.
This is better. This is a step above being
Did you
a
see where
politician.
there are politicians now in Minnesota calling for the resignation of the White Bear Lake super?
I was wondering what you thought about that.
You know, I'm struggling with that. It turns out, though, that the guy, he's being held on other charges. So I guess he's just not some innocent young guy who really wanted to complete high school. He was up to no good.
Yeah.
He had a plan.
Yes,
I don't know what it was.
I got that in the news, actually.
Okay, we're going to save that for John.
Are you done with Des Moines?
No, I don't know.
You know there's another layer completely, right?
I don't.
Oh, because that's where I thought you were going. Because this started to circulate, John, 2 days ago? The Des Moines guy?
Yeah.
Okay, something like that. Well, it turns out the illegal immigrant superintendent of Des Moines Public Schools never had his citizenship checked through the federal E-Verify system.
Yeah.
The chair of the school board is Michelle Obama's former chief of staff and a current Democratic candidate for U.S. Senate in Iowa. Her name is Jackie Norris.
The current chair.
Yeah.
The chair at the time of the hiring of this fellow was Terry Caldwell-Johnson from Diversityville.
But like Kenny was just saying, don't they just leave this role for politics anyway?
Yeah. Give me that again.
Hold up. Give that to me again.
Give me that again.
The illegal immigrant superintendent of Des Moines, Iowa, that Joe was just mentioning, the public schools never had his citizenship checked through the federal E-Verify system. The chair of the school board is Michelle Obama's former chief of staff and a current Democratic candidate for U.S. Senate in Iowa. Her name is Jackie Norris. Jackie Norris.
And she was Obama's chief of staff.
Boy, it's a great club to be a part of, isn't it?
Chief of staff?
Yes, sir.
Michelle's.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Michelle Obama's
chief of staff.
Okay, sure. That's why we've never heard of her.
What does that job
in fact,
entail?
is it a her?
It is a her.
Yeah.
It is a her. I have verified it's a her. It's a great club to be a part of. You just pay those taxes.
See, I think it's two different cases here. I think in the case of the Iowa guy, those people that Chris just mentioned and everybody responsible for hiring that super, they should be the ones called on the carpet. Up here in our neck of the woods, I don't see how you can blame that super for that one student. Does the super have to know every single...
Are you back to White Bear now?
Yeah, I'm comparing the two cases.
Yeah.
I don't think the super in White Bear should be held accountable, should he? Tell me why.
He or she, I don't know who.
Who controls the vet?
John has it in his news.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, do it right now, John. What the hell?
New details and allegations emerging. Excuse me. In the case of the 22-year-old Forest Lake man who White Bear Lake area high school officials say enrolled as a student using a fake identity, White Bear Lake Police Chief Dale Hager said they continue to investigate what high school principal Russin Reitz told family was a man who appears to have provided fraudulent documentation and a false identity to enroll. Investigators are pursuing possible criminal violations related to fraud, forgery, and unlawful conduct involving interaction with minors. Court records show that in March, the man was convicted of gross misdemeanor indecent exposure in Washington County for sending a 15-year-old girl a nude picture of himself through Snapchat in July of 2023. He was sentenced to a year in probation. The man arrested by Plymouth police on Sunday on warrants from past theft convictions in Anoka County and for allegedly violating conditions of his probation in July in the Washington County case. He was booked into the Anoka County Jail this past weekend, remained there until yesterday when he was transferred to the Washington County Jail. And that's it. And Elliot Ingen is the fellow who says the super should resign.
What I don't understand is, do you just show up at a high school and say, I want to attend here?
Yeah, what's the vetting process?
I don't understand.
That's a good question.
Are there parents involved?
You would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if he's 22, he might have very well just done this on his own.
Yeah, but that's what I don't understand. You just show up at White Bear and say, I'd like to be a student here.
He was also on the football team.
Yeah.
But didn't
Played on the
anybody look
football
at him
team?
and go, dude, you look like you're 27.
Yeah.
So wait a minute, Chris. Wait a minute.
I'm not
Chris.
joking, Kenny.
Chris,
He was.
what are you saying?
I think he had very
Careful here.
ill intentions. Well, John had it right there in his news
But
story.
do you think the coach and others?
Oh no, I can't indict the coaching staff by any
Okay,
means.
so you're not.
No.
It's
I'm
not
saying,
like they won the state title.
No, I think this kid was trying to scope out. Yeah, I think that's what
You suspect him of mischief.
Well, John just said it in his news story.
Right,
Yeah.
Right.
But who doesn't look at him and go, really? You look 26.
Who you going
I
to
mean, it's like
homecoming
that 70s show where a bunch of 28-year-olds were playing teenagers. Come on, give me a break.
According to what I'm reading, you need to provide a birth certificate when you apply to, or not apply, but when you go to high school. So
Right.
he must have either had a fake one or I don't know.
Or they didn't bother to even ask him for one.
Or
Tim Bloom at EcoFund.
Talk to me.
Well, he's taking advantage of these incredible, beautiful fall days we're having. You got a Kawasaki Ultra 160 Angler edition of the jet ski.
get out on the water today.
Fishing fanatics and watercraft enthusiasts can enjoy their favorite fishing spots like never before. The Jet Ski Ultra 160 LXS Angler takes the action to a wide range of preferred and even remote fishing locations. You get there quick. The 3-passenger personal watercraft is built off the Ultra 160 platform and adds fishing-focused features to deliver
Wait.
This would be the way to fish.
Did you just say fishing-focused features?
I did, and I didn't even stumble over it. They have one left at EcoFund. That would be in Forest Lake on Highway 97, just west of 35. You're driving up 35 now. Get in there and get the one left on sale for $2,500 off MSRP, plus a free Triton aluminum trailer worth $2,000 that goes with it.
That thing does look cool.
Well, look at that.
It is cool
Oh,
looking.
that is really cool. That's got a fish box? What do you call those things?
A fish box? Is
Fish
that
box.
what you just said?
Live well. Live well. Got the live well on the back. It's got,
where do I get the fish
chair
box?
oh, it's got rod holders. That thing is neat, and there's only one. Now, they do have a couple of 2025 jet skis and wave runners in stock that also come with the free Triton trailer. As long as you're there, check out the electric bikes, electric bike capital of the world. This is fun. I had no idea there was a fishing version of the Yamaha jet ski. And they do have jet skis and wave runners left. There's a couple left. Eco Fun Motorsports in Forest Lake / Columbus. It's on Highway 97, immediately west of 35, and down in Burnsville on the service road of life near County Road 42. And a great website, ecofunmotorsports.com.
I was 17, my old man was 55. If you do the math between the two of us, that's 72 years of life. An eternity, so it seemed to me. How could anything live that long? Now I say my folks were only 84 the year that they passed on. For a little while it seems you got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look around and you see 100 years ain't what it used to be. And my grandpa Roy, when he was a boy in 1904, he was taught by men who fought in the actual Civil War. And only 8 decades passed, and my high school class put the tassels on the other side. Started on our way full of naivete on the great American ride. The months and years slide past, each more quickly than the last. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see 100 years ain't what it used to be. Oh, Johnny!
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Johnny, hey!
Here's a man who spends hours in hardware stores, sifting through the nuts and bolts of life. Joe Soucheray.
A little different Seafoam Bugs Be Gone ad for you today. Highly, highly personal. This one comes from my son, who sent me a text yesterday at 6:08, and I almost burst into tears. I was so proud. Dad, I was just sitting at a long red light, trying to see the light through the fog of bugs on my windshield. So I reached my arm behind me and grabbed my Bugs Be Gone out of the seat back pocket. I stuck my arm out the window, sprayed it down. By the time the light turned green, my windshield was clean.
I mean,
what?
That's
you've
achieved peak daddom right there.
I think it's over. I think I'm done.
Yep.
I think I have finally achieved the acme, the pinnacle, the very top of being a dad.
Yep.
I don't know how it happened, but he turned out to be absolutely amazing.
Who was he reading a letter from? His kid?
Yeah, dummy.
Well, I was reading
listen
something.
to the show?
No, I was reading something. I'm sorry.
Fish box.
Joe, he's sitting at a light.
Okay, this is your kid. I know your kid.
He reaches behind him.
Yep.
It's in the pocket
He's
of
got
this
it.
brand new company truck he drives. Big giant thing.
Yep.
Sprays the window out the windshield. Then I'm assuming he sprayed it down with his windshield wash. Did the wipers. all while sitting at a stoplight.
That's fantastic. That's
Son,
Ben.
I love you.
That's Ben. It's amazing he can do that, given you're his father.
I know. You know both me and my wife. How did this happen?
I don't know. He's a hell of a
so
kid.
amazing.
Yeah.
It just shows you actually how amazing Bugs Be Gone is. You can spray down your windshield and it'll be clean by the time the light is green. You don't even have to unbuckle your seatbelt. Find Bugs Be Gone wherever fine automotive chemicals are sold. Hey, this one's a real miracle. Bugs Be Gone is a true miracle, and it's from our friends at Seafoam.
I want to read you something, and then I'm going to read you an email. You ready? Mm-hmm. There's been a lot of controversy about the so-called Gold Line, which is a bus transit line from Woodbury into the city. It was the most expensive rapid transit line ever, $500 million, and nobody rides it. Nobody rides it. When 5 investigates, this is our local 5 channel. When 5 investigates documented a month of rides on the Twin Cities' newest and most expensive bus rapid transit line, it exposed low ridership.
Right.
And frustrated taxpayers. Neither comes as a surprise to Woodbury Mayor Ann Burt. We hear the same thing, Burt said. The Gold Line cost $500 million, and 6 months after buses started running in the East Metro, the number of people using the new service is trending up, but it's still far short of pre-pandemic projections. Metro Transit says those forecasts were developing using software from the Federal Transit Administration. So there's always a way to pass the buck.
Right.
If you're in the third rail, there's always a way to say, I didn't do this. So it wasn't, the Met Council wasn't involved to make the decision to bring it here, but I think transit in metropolitan areas is very important, Burt said. When you think about building a transit system, you're not building it for today, but you're building it for really a century down the road. Well, no, you're not, Burt, for God's sakes. 100 years from now, you think that bus line's going to be there? No. The mayor and others say a cohesive public transportation system is overdue on the east side, so they got it, especially since residents had been paying a metro-wide transit sales tax for 2 decades. There was a need and an expectation that if we're paying into it, as the East Metro is paying into it, we should be getting something, Burt said. So they got it. But nobody rides it. And it costs $500 million. Now I'll read you a letter. Hello, Joe, and hail the Flashlight King.
Hail you!
Please withhold my name. I can understand that. In 1996, I moved to Minneapolis from Texas, and I was happy to do so. The downtown area was clean, well-lit, and full of entertainment. There were festivals, an amazing Christmas parade, shopping, restaurants, and lots of friendly people to interact with. I'm an avid hunter and fisherman, and my visits to the northern part of the state were never disappointing. I'd never have believed that 20 years later, my wife and I would both be scouring the internet for new jobs, eager to move out of the state. It didn't take long for both of us to find jobs, and it only took 1 month for us to sell the Minnesota house and to set up shop in our new house in Colorado. It was like a breath of fresh air. Financially, we were earning similar salaries to what we received in Minnesota, but due to state, local property tax reduction and cost of living adjustments, we immediately realized an effective raise of 19%. Our financial analyst, still in Minnesota, said that we could seriously consider retirement 6 years earlier than we had previously planned in Minnesota. Politically, Colorado is left of center, but people seem a bit more willing to listen to both sides of an argument. The longer we stay here, the more frustrated we feel that we wasted our time staying in Minnesota as long as we did. Now, in 2025, post-COVID and Floyd and the rise of taxes and socialism, I can't even imagine what the downtown area of Minneapolis or St. Paul has become. We still have a lot of friends in Minnesota, and when we ask them why they stay, the answer is almost always the same: family. they say. They have sons, daughters, elderly parents, etc., and they are reluctant to leave them. I get it, but the internet has made the world a much smaller place. The Twin Cities is close to a very accessible international airport, and fares aren't terrible. I can go round trip to Denver to MSP for less than $300 if I plan well. What happened in Minnesota is nothing less than tragic. It's a head shaker. Every morning I listen to your podcast, I shake my head and I want to shout to the voters, pay attention. My fear is that one morning most citizens of Minnesota will wake up to a nightmare they did not see coming. They certainly will not have read about it in the paper. Now I'm linking that to the gold line, the $500 million spent. Where was the caution? Where was the prudence? Where was the wisdom? Where was the fiduciary responsibility to the taxpayer? Where was any good, common, logical sense? That bus line is not needed.
You could almost say that for all of these transit lines.
And so you add up all of these follies, and you can understand why this fellow wrote the email he did. Now, I think it's silly to think that, oh, well, just move because you can go Zoom with your family or fly back and forth. That ain't going to work in certain situations. You know, you're going to want to be near the kids.
Does it merely boil down to a federal funding standpoint with all of this? Because we've been talking about the Southwest Light Rail line for however many years we've been talking about it.
The big problem with the Southwest Light Rail line is the Metropolitan Council, which is an appointed group. They're not elected, and they're suffering no consequences for their failures. They're going to suffer no consequences for a gold line that's failing. But thank God it wasn't light rail. And they're suffering no consequences for completely screwing up a light rail line from Minneapolis to Eden Prairie. And there's no consequences. Just like Governor Cockwomble has no consequences for the people who work for him and have caused devastation.
Joe, he's fighting against Trump.
That's true. He's running against
And
Trump.
don't forget, they have their fingers in everything, not just the light rail line.
Yeah.
I don't want to deter you too bad, but can I share a quick Met Transit anecdote?
Is it off the topic?
A little bit, but I didn't want to. That's why I asked.
Okay, I'll risk it.
So yesterday we started the traffic cameras in Minneapolis.
Yes.
Yeah.
That are going to start. You get
speed cameras.
You get
Kenny's been looking them up in their neighborhood.
You get a warning on the first time, right, Ken? And the second time you get like a 20, whatever it is.
I believe we're starting with 5, if I remembered right.
So Bill Keller from Fox 9 was doing a stand-up story about 25-mile-an-hour speed zone on, I believe it was Nicollet Avenue, which they deemed it was a very high-risk area for traffic and pedestrian incidents. And as he's saying that, a Metro Transit bus went screaming by at about 46 miles an hour in the same zone. And I'm thinking, boy, is that not just a microcosm of everything that's going on in the city right now. It was
buses
hilarious.
Can get away with anything. But buses have the right to ride on the sidewalk if they want to.
Oh, so they won't
or so it seems.
Oh, okay.
Nobody's going to pull over a bus. The buses,
I just thought, so when you were mentioning there's no accountability. I just thought that was very, very funny.
No matter where you look, there's no accountability.
Yeah.
It's a tremendous, I read a great, here, let me read it to you. And the more I see this letter, the more I think maybe we did talk about it at the time. Let me find it. It's right here. Here it is. Let me call it up. It was called Goodbye, Minnesota. Come on, here we go. By a guy named Howard Root. It was written, and the Star Tribune ran this on May 23rd, 2023.
Okay.
And maybe, John, you'll recall this. It seems to me that we might have read this at the time. Oh, no.
No.
They're not going to let me read it.
No.
No, I am a subscriber.
You
So
gotta
log
sign
in.
in.
I don't know what my email is to do that.
What's your password?
John, look up Howard, Minneapolis Star Tribune, Howard Root.
Root?
Yeah, and he wrote a really, really sensical piece about why he left. He could have easily he could easily afford to live anywhere he wants.
Called Goodbye Minnesota.
Yes.
May 23rd, 2023.
Would you like to read it? Would someone like to read it?
I would prefer John read it. He's much better at that.
All right.
I'm still looking.
Well, hell, I'll read it.
I just Googled Howard Root Star Tribune.
Star Tribune.
Okay, I'll read it. I'll read it. Let me just call it up here. My damn phone won't let me.
I just want the record to show that I volunteered not to read it.
Joe, it's a long piece. You're not going to read this whole thing.
I got it.
Go ahead, John.
I was born in Minneapolis, graduated from the University of Minnesota, and have lived in the Twin Cities essentially my entire life. So when I sold my business and took early retirement in 2017, planning to get away from the Minnesota winters, I always thought I'd remain a resident of the state I love that had provided me so much. This year, though, I'm moving my residency to Florida. This isn't LeBron James taking his talents to South Beach, but when I hear DFL rep Andy Smith claim it's a myth that people are fleeing Minnesota, I think an explanation for my reasoning is relevant. Those reasons start but don't end with taxes. Even in the face of a massive $17 billion surplus, the Minnesota legislature just raised my sales tax and gas tax, created a new deliveries tax, and even flirted with raising my income tax. Minnesota already has the sixth highest income tax rate in the country at 9.85%. Contrast that with Florida, which has no state income tax. Even so, I could remain comfortable paying around 10% of my net income to Minnesota if I was confident the money would be wisely spent and the rate relatively constant. But the current trifecta of DFL control in St. Paul boasts that taxes are a wonderful tool to fund their new massive growth in state spending on programs like free college tuition, which won't be free to me. Governor Tim Walz has proposed an additional 4% surcharge on capital gains over $1 million. And even more ominously, Minnesota legislators are studying a new wealth tax on unrealized annual appreciation of assets owned by the wealthy. When DFL Senator Ann Rest says her party seems to have an insatiable appetite to raise taxes, I believe her. DFL Rep Aisha Gomez claims she is just asking the higher income people to, quote, contribute a little more than the public good. As my total tax rate creeps toward 50%, I'd like to hear the number that will constitute a little more once Minnesota returns to a California-like deficit, even before paying reparations. Remember to keep reading. There's a lot more, Joe.
You can stop. The point is that I think he sold a company, presumably that enriched him. Well, and it goes on to say how much he's donated to the state of Minnesota over the years, and how he writes it very well. He's not patting himself on the back, but he's saying, I've just been taken advantage of time after time after time. And he had enough, and he was able to leave, and that was 2 years ago.
Yeah. Have John read the next paragraph, just one more paragraph, John, where you left off.
The second and even more important reason I'm leaving Minnesota is that crime has destroyed much of what I used to enjoy in the Twin Cities. Up until a few years ago, I thought to avoid being a victim of violent crime, all I needed to do was avoid being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But today in the metro area, every place could be the wrong place at any time of every day.
That backs up what Chris has been saying for years.
I think that one of the things Minnesotans still believe is exactly that. I won't be affected by crime. If I'm just staying out of if I just watch where I am, I won't be affected by crime, which is nonsense. It's everywhere. Mm-hmm. It's everywhere. I mean, the CP got nailed on a quiet city street in St. Paul in the middle of the afternoon.
Okay, and we had kids at Annunciation Church praying.
Yeah, it's everywhere. So the left manages to ruin everything it touches, and I defy anyone to tell me what good the left has done. Please, somebody.
There's an attitude among people who, when guys like Howard Root write something like that, they kind of make fun of him for announcing his goodbye, saying, "Oh, you don't have to announce it, just leave." I think it's pretty important that we do hear from all of these people, no matter what. Howard did pretty well for himself. He sold a very, very popular, good company. But I think from the people that leave that make $23,000 to the people that make $23 million, I think we need to hear from all of them.
And Kenny, the comeback that always gets in my face is, well, you don't live here. Well, no kidding.
Well, there's a reason why.
I've worked in Minneapolis for 25 years, and I keep moving further away for a specific reason.
Yeah, I was born there. I lived there as a youth, and then I came back as a 20-year-old and lived there until 2021, I think, when we left, right?
There's a key to this Root letter that's important to note, because he wrote that he's not gloating by any stretch of the imagination.
Not at all.
He is the kind of citizen we'll miss in Minnesota.
Definitely.
He willingly contributed to the state's coffers, but there's a key line there. And I would have continued to if I had any assurance that the money would be spent wisely. He probably paid more taxes than any of us ever will. And he said, this is ridiculous. I have no assurance that this is even being used wisely. So more power to him. He deserved to. He put in his time, his money, and his efforts into this state. And he had a great vantage point to watch its destruction, because he was at the top of the food chain, and he was willing to stay here and contribute and continue to be a meaningful part of the state. But you know what he didn't write, but I'm going to put the words in his mouth. He has been betrayed.
Yeah.
He has been betrayed. We've all been betrayed by the people running this state. We've been betrayed.
It was interesting that he used a quote from Senator Ann Rest, who I believe is retiring now, isn't she?
She is.
Yep.
And her quote was, her party seems to have an insatiable appetite to raise taxes. I mean, Ann said that about her party. You know there's a problem.
But she might have been saying it glowingly. I mean, she's a lifelong DFLer. She might be proud of their insatiability.
Oh,
I don't know that. I could easily interpret it that way. I did not know this Root fellow. I did not know him personally. But I got to think. Don't you guys think we brought that letter up when we saw it?
I do remember
we
hearing
do.
it. Yeah.
Vaguely remember, yes.
At the end of these op-ed pieces, you always get a mini bio. Howard Root is the retired CEO and co-founder of Vascular Solutions, Inc., a Maple Grove-based medical device company that was sold to Teleflex in 2017.
And I'm sure that was very successful for him and great. I'm glad. And again, he said, look, I was willing to stay. He's been betrayed. And they're going to betray you if you make $12,000 a year. They don't give a bleep.
Nope. His last paragraph, John, do you still have it up?
I could grab it, sure.
His last paragraph is really good.
I know I've benefited greatly from the excellent public education and wonderful career opportunities Minnesota provided me. I can leave knowing I've repaid the state many times over with the millions in taxes I've paid and the hundreds of jobs I've created. That reciprocal history makes it painful for me to say goodbye, but it's time to end my dysfunctional relationship with the new Minnesota.
Thank you, sir, for your patience that you stayed as long as you did. This is the kind of guy you want to see leave the state? No,
not me.
Without guys like him, that's hastening this state's dystopian future. And if we don't get rid of these idiots that are running this state, and they are idiots in the intellectual sense, they're not wise people, there won't be a state here. It'll be, I don't know what it'll be, but it won't be a functioning state.
Reminder. Watch Precarious State tonight.
That's right.
On Channel 5 at 7 o'clock.
Capcella's documentary is on tonight at 7 p.m.
Rick, full disclosure, I already set the record because I don't know that I'll be around at 7 o'clock, but I am going to watch it at
Taking
some
the
point.
long way home?
Oh, God, yes.
Oh. I don't know how long this weather's going to last, but take advantage of it. Think of your garage door. Maybe you need a new one. If you need a new one, get that done now while the working conditions are perfect. Call Precision Door. Get a hold of them online, Precision Door. They have models of new doors for every budget, and right now, GLers get $100 off a single door and $200 off a double door. A designer comes out, you get the free consultation. Bing, bang, boom. If you like your current door and she's still sturdy, but she's making a little racket, they got a noisy door tune-up special for $149. 25-point safety inspection and diagnostic, and a garage tune-up. Get ready for the cooler weather ahead. You don't want to delay the maintenance because I've done it. There's nothing worse than standing out there when it's 10 below, because that maintenance reduces the future wear and breakdowns of your door. Book online at Precision Door MN, one word, precisiondoormn.com, or call Precision Door 612-263-6985 to schedule your free on-site new door estimate or that noisy door tune-up special.
We don't.
The earth is not your mother. The Joe Souchere Show.
Let's talk about our friends at We Are Nuts and WeAreNutsMN.com. Handmade right here in the great state of Minnesota. It's small batch snacks and a family-owned operation, and they are wonderful. Joe Souchere's got to stock up on cashews, I know, over the next couple of days. Where'd you go?
I went to Fratz, and Fratz does not carry the chocolate-covered almonds.
We have to solve that.
Well, that's Frat's problem.
Do you want me to talk to a guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one did you go to? The Grand Avenue?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. If you're trying to take care of your employees, I got to tell you, or your customers, these specialty gift tins are available right now at We Are Nuts. It's a wonderful idea for all of your, whatever it is, like I said, your customers, your employees, whoever you'd like to treat. The classic gift tins are fantastic. I think I might just get a bunch of those for myself, the extra large whole cashew gift tins. I'm going to treat myself this holiday season, Joe.
Look at the covered almonds.
Aren't they cool? And they also personalize these things too, by the way. So you can say, hey, thanks for the business this holiday season, so-and-so, whatever.
I would have eaten half of them driving home. They didn't have any.
That's a you problem, it sounds like. Yeah. Anyway, check them out online today. It's WeAreNutsMN.com. And please do me a favor and mention that you heard about them right here on the Garage Logic podcast.
Here is John Haidt in his Garage Logic newsroom.
Thank you, Joe. This news brought to you by North American Banking Company. Lawmakers in Minnesota awarded nearly $20 million to nonprofit organizations around the state since 2024 that do not appear to be registered with the state attorney general's office. All of this comes as our friends downstairs, 5 Investigates, looks into this. Most nonprofits that solicit donations in Minnesota, like having a donate button on their website, are required to have an active registration with the Attorney General's office so the public can see their financial health. But the review done by 5 Investigates found that at least 24 organizations that have received or are set to receive millions of dollars in taxpayer money were not registered. Representative Lisa Dameth, the Republican Speaker of the House, said it doesn't sound like the state's doing a very good job checking. That's something that will need to change. About half of the unregistered organizations that got public dollars described the issue as paperwork or an accounting error and took steps to fix it after Channel 5 reached out. 7 organizations never responded to at least 3 emails asking about their registration status. Apparently, there is no law that requires lawmakers or state agencies to first verify that an organization getting public funds is complying with the law on nonprofits. Damas said, we want to make sure that those that are getting taxpayer dollars are actually in good standing with our state government before they get a dollar. If you'd like to get more info on this, 5 Investigates on Channel 5 will have the complete story on their 6 p.m. Eyewitness News tonight. So,
who's the lead reporter there? Does it say in that?
It does not say in this, and I didn't look to see who had written the original story.
Joe, I think we should have either that reporter or Lisa or even our buddy Mary on.
Ryan Raish.
I don't know, Ryan.
May I ask a 2-part question? When I was reading that story this morning, you didn't answer.
Just hurry up.
When I was reading that story this morning, I thought of 2 things. Number one, at what point will this cause Walz and Ellis to say, you know what, this is on our, which won't happen. I know the answer to that.
Never.
But number 2, at what point is the financial amount going to get to a point where we say, these people need to be brought in for investigation and this is ridiculous.
Are you just awakening to this?
No, but I'm saying, Joe, we are on the precipice of absolute financial ruin in this state.
And the average moron doesn't care.
All right.
Joe Thompson.
Speaking,
that's who we need. Joe Thompson.
Of fraud kind of things. Prosecutors are asking a judge to detain a man charged in the Feeding Our Future scheme, claiming he engaged in witness tampering as he awaits trial later this month. Court documents say that Abdulwahab Ahmed Mohammed pressured a witness not to testify against him, called him, quote, a snitch, and accused the witness of betraying him. Mohammed met with the witness at least 2 times, according to court records. That witness was also charged in the Feeding Our Future scheme and previously took a plea deal. In 2022, Mohammed was charged with wire fraud, money laundering, and conspiracy in the scheme that defrauded the Federal Child Nutrition Program, which was designed to provide free meals to children in need. All 7 of Mohammed's co-defendants have pleaded guilty. His trial is scheduled to begin in 2 weeks.
Mohammed, you're just a thief. We're the ones betrayed, not you.
State Senator Omar Fateh's mayoral campaign will have to pay a $500 fine because they've continued to distribute campaign materials advertising him as a DFL-endorsed candidate after the party revoked his endorsement. Fateh won the mayoral endorsement at the Minneapolis DFL convention July 19th, but the party announced on August 21st that it had clawed it back after a review found irregularities in the balloting process. That didn't matter, apparently. Fateh campaign volunteers and surrogates continued to hand out literature bearing the DFL endorsement logo until a chief political officer of the DFL told the campaign on August 26th to make all reasonable efforts to stop using its endorsement on any campaign material.
$500, Joe. I would call that the cost of doing business, and I would keep doing it.
Yep.
You've got to hit them a lot. 50,000 at least.
Yeah, but then they would just steal that. So we
and I don't know. I think I can share this because this was on the show, but we talked to somebody that was formerly in politics that may or may not have hosted the show in your absence that said he will not be surprised whatsoever when Omar Fateh becomes the next mayor of Minneapolis.
If Omar Fateh becomes the mayor of Minneapolis, the city will stop functioning.
He also, and do you guys remember when he said he would not be surprised at all if Republicans nominated Lindell? Have you seen these follow-up stories in the Star Tribune?
That's a sure way to lose if you nominate Lindell.
That's what Pat said.
It for Walz.
That's what Pat said,
Yep.
And now these stories in the newspaper are saying, there actually are parts of the party that
will
like
just
him.
make it easier for Cockwomble to run against Trump.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing?
Those stories, wouldn't it be the natural approach for the Star Tribune to mock Lindell and talk about how he doesn't have a chance in hell?
I wish they would.
Instead, they're taking the opposite approach, and it really has me wondering.
Well, they probably want him to run.
Yeah, that's the conspiracy.
Well, they're a house
you know how I
organ
love
for-
conspiracy theories.
Well, you got Walz's own guy was installed as publisher, this Grove fellow.
Those stories
John-
do point out the ridiculousness of Michael.
I know,
Lindell.
but I wonder if I have the headline still up. I bet I don't. The headline to me was like, wow, really? That's kind of nice.
That's like hoping Jared Trump runs for governor.
A report of 50 sticks of suspected dynamite found in a Medina garage yesterday prompted a hazmat incident. The Medina Police Department and West Suburban Fire Department were notified at about 11:35 in the morning in the 4600 block of Mohawk Drive about a container that was found while cleaning up an old garage. It looked like there were 50 sticks of what appeared to be dynamite, according to police. The immediate area was evacuated until the bomb squad could respond due to the unknown condition. The Minneapolis bomb squad arrived and removed all the items. Authorities say the scene was cleared quickly and there was no danger to the public.
A gun full of dynamite? What are we going to do?
How fun would that? I would hire out as a stump removal expert. That would be so fun. Here's the headline from today's paper. Lindell's possible run for governor met with excitement unease.
Well,
am I reading too much into that?
I'm unease.
Yeah, yes. I'm on the unease side. Yeah.
The Minnesota Department of Health says it's confirmed 10 cases of measles since Monday, bringing the state's total cases to 18 in 2025. All of the infected people had a recent history of travel. None were vaccinated against the disease, according to MDH. 7 cases were within families who had traveled within the country and were linked to 3 cases reported last week, while the other 3 new cases were tied to international travel. The U.S. has seen a surge of infections this year, and the 1,544 cases confirmed by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is the highest mark since 1992, when 2,100 cases were reported. The disease had been declared eliminated from the U.S. in the year 2000. According to CDC data, more than half of all U.S. cases were reported in Texas. A massive outbreak centered in West Texas resulted in 3 deaths, the nation's first since 2015. Why don't we take a quick break here, come back with some national and international news.
You cannot stop him. He'll just make a move. Joe Souchere.
Hang on to what money you've got left and do that.
I don't have any left.
All you got's?
The 6-pack of Bud Light.
North American Banking Company can help you hang on to that 6-pack of Bud Light and whatever you got left in that checking account, because you're going to need all that. First off, check out their website, nabankco.com, to learn more. Here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. If you're tired of being a number to your big national bank, then I cannot recommend my friends at North American Banking Company highly enough. You see, when they first opened back in 1998, they made a promise to deliver a better banking experience for their customers, where you know your banker and they know you, and they want to invest in the communities around you and your family and your business that make the Twin Cities a great place to live. So, like I said, check them out online today. It's nabankco.com to learn more. Once again, it's banking done differently. North American Banking Company, member FDIC, is an equal housing lender. Johnny?
Thanks, Chris. An assailant drove a car into people outside a synagogue Thursday in northern England and then began stabbing them, killing 2 and seriously wounding 3 in a terrorist attack on the holiest day of the Jewish year. Officers shot and killed the suspect, according to Greater Manchester Police, although it took authorities some time to confirm that he was dead because of concerns he had explosives on him. The Metropolitan Police in London, who lead counter-terror policing operations, declared it a terrorist attack. Assistant Commissioner Lawrence Taylor said 2 other suspects were arrested, although he provided no further info on the arrests. The attack took place as people gathered at an Orthodox synagogue in suburban neighborhood of Manchester on Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement and the most solemn day in the Jewish calendar.
You know, Yom Kippur means Day of Atonement. So what you see one of your Jewish brothers and sisters today, you don't say, "Hey, happy Yom Kippur." That would not be the right salutation.
Mm-hmm.
So the right salutation, as I was reading about this today, Jewish adults observing the holiday typically will fast for around 24 hours, starting at sundown the night before. However, Jewish teaching explains that anyone, the Jewish calendar, Yom Kippur officially ends fall this year. Well, where is it? Where do you say it? Here it is. Yom Kippur is a somber holiday, so you shouldn't tell someone, "Hey, happy Yom Kippur." See, that wouldn't work. Instead, you should tell someone, "Have an easy fast." Some may have recently taken to instead wishing people have a meaningful fast. This recognizes that the fasting on Yom Kippur is not necessarily supposed to be an easy task. Another traditional greeting is Gamar Chatima Tova, pronounced Gamar Chatima Tova. Well, I got it right, which basically means, "May you be inscribed in the book of life for good." In Jewish tradition, it is believed one's fate is decided on Rosh Hashanah and sealed on Yom Kippur.
President Trump this morning said Democrats have given him what he called an unprecedented opportunity to slash federal agencies, signaling plans to go against political opponents during the 2-day-old government shutdown. And Trump's warning came a day after his administration froze about $18 billion in 2 major infrastructure projects in New York City. Funding halts were first announced by Russell Vought, the director of the White House's Office of Management and Budget. Trump said he will soon meet with Vought to determine which of the many Democratic agencies, most of which are a political scam, it's a quote from the president, that he recommends to be cut. The 2 men will also weigh whether or not those cuts will be temporary or permanent, Trump wrote on Truth Social. If Vought's name sounds familiar, he was the key author of Project 2025, the blueprint for massively reforming the U.S. government. You remember the president repeatedly disavowing Project 2025 while running for president, saying he and his campaign had nothing to do with it. And Trump and the congressional leaders are not expected to meet again soon. Congress has no action scheduled today in observance of the Jewish holy day, with senators due back tomorrow. The House is set to resume session next week. Tesla reported a surprise increase in sales in the third quarter as the electric car maker benefited from a rush by consumers to take advantage of a $7,500 credit before it expired on September 30th. The company reported Thursday that sales in the 3 months through September rose 7% compared to the same period a year ago. The gain follows 2 quarters of steep declines as people turned off by CEO Elon Musk's foray into politics avoided buying the company's cars and even protesting at some dealerships. Other economic news, the U.S. shed 32,000 private sector jobs in September, according to payroll processing giant ADP. Economists who had been polled by the Wall Street Journal had expected not a decrease, but an increase of 45,000. ADP's report doesn't include government workers, but economists are giving it a closer look this month. That's because the Bureau of Labor Stats monthly jobs report, which was scheduled to come out tomorrow, will be delayed if the government is still shut down. The surprise job loss in September is the latest sign the labor market is weakening. Job growth has slowed to a trickle this year, even as the unemployment rate has held mostly steady. Jane Goodall, one of the world's most revered conservationists who earned scientific stature and global celebrity by chronicling the distinctive behavior of wild chimps in East Africa, has died. She died yesterday in Los Angeles. She was 91 years old.
She loved those chimps, man.
She did. Her death while on a speaking tour was confirmed by the Jane Goodall Institute, whose U.S. headquarters are in Washington, D.C. Goodall was 29 years old in the summer of 1963 when National Geographic magazine published her 7,500-word, 37-page account of the lives of primates she had observed in the Gombe Stream Chimpanzee Reserve in what is now Tanzania. The National Geographic Society had been financially supporting her field studies there. The article, with photographs by Hugo van Lawick, a Dutch wildlife photographer whom she later married, also described Dr. Goodall's struggles to overcome disease, predators, and frustration as she's tried to get close to the chimps. In the 70s, she began to spend less time observing chimpanzees and more time seeking to protect them and their disappearing habitat. She made known her opposition to capturing wild chimpanzees for displays in zoos or for medical research, and she traveled the world drawing large audiences with a message of hope and confidence that the world would recognize the importance of preserving its natural resources.
Did one of them chimps ever turn on her? Because you can't trust them.
Not that I have ever read about, no.
Either have I. She remained unscathed, I think.
John, I'd like to congratulate you for the pronunciation of Tanzania.
I'm glad you noticed that because I practiced that. Tanzania, not Tanzania.
You know, there was a well-known lefty social media account that went viral because they were critical of her being a conservationalist.
Oh.
Thinking it was a conservative.
John,
Are you serious?
I am
How
very
stupid was that person?
Yes.
Anyway, yes.
Anywho's.
Do you have the story about Conrad?
I do not, Kenny. Would you like to talk about it? I'd be happy to.
Well, it'd be better if you had the story. But the stage manager at First Avenue in the main route, Conrad, who has been there almost 40 years. And if you ever went to a show in the main room, you would see him standing on your right, either behind the barrier or outside of the barrier. He passed away earlier this week from cancer.
I did not know that.
He was one of the most stoic, laid-back, cool guys you would ever meet, and he treated all musicians the same, whether this was your first time to walk into the building or you were a big, giant rock star. Conrad always gave you the time of day, made sure you were comfortable, made sure you had everything you need, acted as sort of a liaison between the very gruff owner and booker of First Avenue and the band, and he was just a wonderful human being. In my day, when I was going there, he had long dreads, but those eventually got cut off, and he looked more like a truck driver recently. But a wonderful, wonderful guy, and we lost him earlier this week.
To back up what you said, Dylan, who has played down there, both at First Ave and downstairs, said when he first met Conrad, he didn't know who he was, of course. Conrad introduced himself and said he sat and talked to him for 10 minutes. He said he was really, kind of irascible, but nice.
When I was at Cities, we did a lot of stuff there since we were across the street at Butler Square. And what I always liked about him is I knew he was a dude. All the groups, all the bands, all just respected the crap out of him. They all loved him.
He must have put in 18-hour days, because I'd be in downtown at 1 p.m. and see Conrad helping load in, and then you go to the show that night and he's there at 1 a.m. Helping him load out. Just an amazing human being.
I did not know he died.
Did he have a family?
I don't know.
I don't know anything about him other than he was just one of the greatest.
He had a woman that was listed as a partner, and then lots of nieces and nephews in the bit I saw. To back up Chris's thing, one of my things on Facebook now is basically I only have friends that are either old schoolmates or musicians. I must have seen 30 musicians, local musicians, writing about Conrad in the last 2 days.
Yeah.
So, well loved, definitely. There was a great picture of him with the dreads you talked about, Kenny, down to his waist.
Yeah.
And apparently, Joe, you'll like this, he was a very, very good golfer.
Oh.
And apparently, he would go, before he got it cut, he would go golf, and he'd get some sideways looks with his dreads down to his waist.
Yeah, I wish I knew him. I would have had him as a guest.
Please tell me they're going to give him a star.
Oh, he's already had a star.
Oh, he does have one. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, very cool.
A star.
Got it.
A couple of new polls show Americans, this really isn't a surprise at the moment, are more divided than we've seen in a long, long time.
No.
How could that be?
Americans have markedly less faith in the ability of the country's political system to solve any problems than they have even just 5 years ago, with a large majority now believing the country is incapable of overcoming its deep divisions. All of this is a Siena University New York Times poll. Even in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic, when the country was fighting over mask mandates and forced to reckon with questions about George Floyd, a majority of voters still agreed the country was capable of solving the problems. Well, today, just 33% of voters feel the same way. The steep rise in pessimism reflects a shift in the public's perceptions about what ails the country. After the economy, the poll found that Americans were most likely to point to problems in the political culture as the most urgent. They named polarization and the state of democracy more often than immigration, inflation, or crime. Another poll says 3 in 10 people now say Americans may have to resort to violence to get the country back on track. That's a Marist PBS News poll. To be sure, a strong majority disagree with that, about 70%, but there are 30% who say violence may be necessary. That's up 11 points since April of 2024.
What does get back on track mean? Which side is fighting for what?
I would think getting back on track would mean your side has
I
things
get
the way
it.
they want them
Okay.
again,
Yeah.
because it's both Democrats and Republicans that were asked in the poll. 2 packed Delta jets ran into each other on the runway at LaGuardia Airport last night. Destroyed a plane's nose, ripped off a large part of a wing. It happened when the wing of an aircraft carrying 32 people that was departing for Roanoke, Virginia, suddenly collided with the fuselage of an aircraft arriving from Charlotte, North Carolina. That plane had 61 people on board. One pilot could be heard saying, "Their right wing clipped our nose in the cockpit. We have damage to our windscreen and some of our screens in here." Photos from the scene showed one of the plane's windshields completely shattered, its nose banged up in the wake of the collision. A fellow on one of the planes was a CBS News producer, Joey Annunziato. He said, "We absolutely got smashed just now by another Delta flight. I don't know if we hit them or they hit us, but it was super jarring." Despite the damage to the jets, no passengers injured during the collision. A flight attendant on board one of the aircraft suffered non-life-threatening injuries, taken to the hospital. What caused the accident is not immediately clear. An investigation will ensue, according to officials.
Royce was on that flight.
Really?
And he looked out the window and saw the wing laying on the ground. He said, "Tape it on there and let's take a chance."
Who's willing to risk it?
Tape it up. Let's go. Who's willing? I'm ready to go.
It was a right wing that fell off. Of course it was.
Right, well, of course.
Say, the Center of the American Experiment is inviting you to a great event on Friday night, October 10th at the Omni Vikings Lake Hotel in Eagan for an evening with Michael Schellenberger, author, journalist, and California truth teller. He has some advice for Minnesota. He sounds the alarm on failed policies around crime, homelessness, and environmental extremism. The Center of the American Experiment puts on a great evening. There's a reception, a powerful message that matters now more than ever. And at this place, great views. You're out there at the Vikings Lake. There's lakes.
It is a very cool hotel.
You can get tickets today. That's Friday night, October 10th. Get your tickets today at AmericanExperiment.org.
What am I going to do this afternoon?
Driving grain cart?
Nope.
You'll learn more here by accident than elsewhere by design. Here's Joe Souchere.
You know, a guy that drives grain cart all day needs to refresh, needs to hydrate. And no better way than Hofferman Water and Connecticut. Get the best water possible going on right now. Here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. If you've got active kids, then you have no excuse for not installing a drinking water system from Hofferman Water and Connecticut. It's going to save you so much money. Not having to buy all that bottled water. You don't want that crap. You want the best. But the deal is you got to get on that schedule. You have to have them come out for that free water analysis. You can do that one of two ways. You can dial them up at 612 895-2440 or visit their website at HoffermanWater.com. If you visit that website, you can see every single water treatment system that they have to offer. It doesn't matter if you're in the mood for that water softener, that iron, rust, and odor filtration system, or, like I was mentioning, a brand new drinking water system. You will not be disappointed if you decide to make the switch. It's made an amazing difference in the quality of my water, and it will do the same thing for you as well. Once again, 612-895-2440 or HoffermanWater.com. Hofferman Water has been proudly serving the state of Minnesota for over 50 years. Do me a favor and mention that you heard about them on the Garage Logic podcast. Joe?
Do you know there's a venue in Minneapolis called the Astor House? It's in St. Anthony, Maine area?
Yes.
Stephen C., Pat Donahue, Jack Cassidy, Catherine Boodzian, and Jillian Anderson will be there October 5. This is the 2nd.
That's Sunday.
So Sunday, 7 p.m. at the Astor House, Stephen C. and friends.
I know I've been there.
With this performance called Autumn Leaves. I guess you can have dinner there, the drinks, the whole deal. So it's the Astor House.
Yeah, I've been there before. It's a cool spot.
So there it is, man. Our friend Stephen C. and his friends performing Autumn Leaves. That'll be quite an evening.
It's right on the river. I have been here. It's a very, very cool spot.
Yeah, the Astor House.
Yes.
A-S-T-E-R. So I was looking up the Astor House. Do you think that's as in John Jacob Astor?
No, it's spelled with an O.
John Jacob is?
Yeah, the fur traders. Yeah, Astor. T-O-R.
Because there's Astor houses in many cities.
It's basically a block southeast of Nye, where Nye used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a cool spot.
7 o'clock, October 5.
Oh, and it's supposed to be nice all weekend, too. That'll be cool.
Well, I think so.
You want to go? Go
where?
Eat pizza.
Huh. Jeff Arendale owns the Astor House. He's a musician.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
Well, he's bringing over the right people, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, he is Jeff Arendale.
Remember
Makes
yesterday
sense.
we talked about Kalaki days?
It's fun to light Chris up, isn't
It really is.
Kalaki.
You know why? Because you're not just hurting me.
Well, put an H in there.
You're hurting Grandma Cooktavi. That's who you're hurting. That's why when
I don't think you pronounced Grandma's last name right.
Yeah,
Say that again.
spell that.
That didn't
Wouldn't her
sound right
name
to me.
Cooktavi?
I think you got that wrong, Chris.
Kenny, stop it.
Yeah, well, how
Don't
about
rip
this?
Grandma.
How about this? Lee Ortloff writes and sent a picture of what's Leah? Is that female?
Yeah.
Leah.
Her grandmother was the 1940 Kalaki Queen. Kalachki
kidding.
Queen.
Wow.
And she sent a photo. Here's how big Kalachki Days was. You ready? She's being crowned by Governor Stassen.
Joe.
Wow.
I know how big Kalachki Days is.
And this gal's grandma was the queen.
We should go next summer.
Yeah. I think I have a thing.
0% chance.
I don't know if I can
I got
make it.
something going on that day.
It sounds good.
Is that a week or a month? How long does it go on?
Thank you, Leah. What a neat picture of her mom. I'd hold it up for you, but I
thought
don't
you said
have it.
grandma.
I mean, her grandma. Yeah. Kalachki Days. She was the queen, crowned by the governor.
So what Leah's saying was grandma was a babe back in her day.
Oh, I'll say.
Is this a German thing or
No, it's Czech.
Czech, baby.
Czech? Oh, of course.
Don't you know your Kalakis?
No.
Fat Kenny, in that
No,
area,
I do not.
New Prague's ballpark has what they call the Czech deck, where they just get
here we go.
bamboozled on Busch Light all day.
Are these polka dancing folks?
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, well, they're my people.
They're your people.
Square dancing.
Kenny, you would fit right in at Kalachki Days.
Would it be square dancing?
You'd love
too?
it. You'd love every second
Yeah,
of it.
square dancing. No, we're talking two-step, 3-step. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
Only
I gotta look up.
because-
That reminds me. I gotta look up the Kalachki
Forward,
place.
forward, back.
Well,
forward,
can I ask you
forward,
something?
Sure.
Has it already been held this year?
Yeah, it's usually is it June or
Did
July?
your grandma enter?
Well, she's been dead for 5 years.
But those things last forever.
No, fresh. You know why?
Could have slid them in there.
You know what makes them
Nobody
great?
would've known.
They're made with lard.
Oh God.
No, that's what makes them
All right.
pristine.
Well, on this day,
Joe, today is October 2nd.
well, these come to us all the way from Spain,
I got to find out where I can get
from the
collages.
traveling Lymans. It was on this day.
Joe, today is October 2nd.
In 1843, the St. Croix County Board of Commissioners licensed Henry Jackson to open a tavern at St. Paul's and also named him Justice of the Peace. Jackson Street runs from the site of his store. On this day,
October 2nd.
the Red Lake in, is it Pembina or Pembina?
The town is Pembina in North Dakota.
Now,
I
what
don't
are
know
the
if
bands
the
of
tribe
Indians?
is.
All right.
Yeah.
The Red Lake and Pembina bands of Ojibwe signed the Old Crossing Treaty, ceding to the U.S. government 3 million acres of land in the Red River Valley. Senator Alexander Ramsey and Indian agent Ashley C. Morrill represented the U.S. Moose Dung, Crooked Arm, Little Rock, and Little Shell were among the Ojibwe signers. The treaty was named for a ford in the Red Lake River near Red Lake Falls, and a monument was dedicated at the treaty site in Huot in 1933.
Who were the hysterical parents that named their kid Moose Dung?
What? Well, I was going to make a wiseacre remark too, but I'll bet you that moose dung had some important function.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. I don't think it's now that I think about it, native parents didn't name them, right? Wasn't that a tribe thing? That was the elders, John, wasn't it? Yeah.
I mean, I think I'd rather be called moose dung than crooked arm.
Well, you got a good point.
Yeah. On this day,
October
We should
2nd.
rename the four of us with those four names.
No, let's
Well, we've got asshat, jackass, dumbass, wise ass, and smart ass.
yeah, but moose dung, crooked arm, Little Rock, and Little Shell sound just as good. On this day,
October 2nd.
in 1900, a little test for you all. The St. Paul Dispatch ran a photograph of all the I remember this on this day in history, of all the automobiles owned by city residents. What was the tally?
I think it was 7.
No, it was less than 5, wasn't it? 3? 4. I knew it was less than 5.
2 cars and 2 trucks.
You know why I remembered? That was a year ago today.
Thank you. You're right. Also on this day in 1900.
Were they all Fords? I bet they were all Ford.
I don't know. But trucks would have been very primitive.
It was a flatbed Ford.
Very primitive.
I think they were convertible trucks, right? They didn't even really have a top.
Really?
I don't know. 1900, I bet they weren't Fords. I don't know
you're
what
right.
they would have been. 1900 on this day.
On October 2nd.
William Jennings Bryan, presidential candidate, orator, and future participant in the Scopes trial on teaching evolution in public schools, spoke in St. Peter, Minnesota. On this day,
October 2nd.
in 1950, the Peanuts comic strip of St. Paul's Charles Schulz began national syndication in 7 newspapers.
Thank you, President.
Yes.
Hey, aren't we celebrating the 75th Halloween Peanuts this year? I thought I saw that this morning.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
But that's not important now because I'm going to tell you on this day,
On October 2nd.
in 1968, Congress passed the National Wild and Scenic Rivers Act, naming the Upper St. Croix River as one of 8 rivers protected by this legislation. The lower 52 miles of the river were preserved on October 25, 1972. What else is October 25 noted for? That's when I got a hole in one.
Oh, yeah.
October 25, 1992.
Expensive day for you.
On this day in Minnesota sports disappointment history.
Who'd we lose to on October 2nd?
Well, on this day in 1921, the Minneapolis Marines played their first game and lost to the Cardinals 20-0. On this day,
October 2nd.
1981, dome raised for the first time. I don't know what that means. You mean the roof might have been inflated?
We inflated her up.
For the first time?
Yep.
That was a disappointment. Because it was just the worst bleeping S-hole in the world. On this day,
October 2nd.
in 1988, Alan Anderson skipped the final start to win EAR title.
That's right. I remember
ERA,
that.
I mean.
Yes.
Well, that was a Bush League move.
Then the Twins, they weren't, I mean, I guess they were out of it because they did not make the
Who
playoffs.
was Alan Anderson?
He won the ERA title in 1988.
Well, who did he pitch for?
The Twins.
Oh.
He was a lefty.
But he skipped the. Well, that doesn't count then.
I agree. I think Royce, I remember
No
reading something
wonder it's
from
a
Pat.
disappointment.
He ripped the hell out of him, I believe.
Well, you should.
Yeah. By the way, my sources are telling me, thank you, Rebecca, Frankie's Bakery in Montgomery sells the best kolaczkis, aside from Grandma McTavie, sells the best kolaczkis in that area. That's what my sources
So
are telling me.
who was a McTavie? Your mom?
Cook-Tavie.
A McCook-Tavie?
K-O-K-T-A-V-Y.
Cook-Tavie.
Cook-Tavie.
Who was your mom? Was Mrs.
My
Cook-Tavie?
mom was a Cook-Tavie.
What was
yes.
her
I
first
think
name?
you're pronouncing that wrong, Chris.
Well, I've been
It would be
saying it my whole
Cook-Tavie,
life.
wouldn't it? Put the H in there.
K-O-K-T-A-V-Y.
What's your mom's name?
Teresa.
Teresa Cook-Tavie.
Correct.
On this day,
On October 2nd.
in 2016.
Thought you were done. Yes, sir.
Oh, no, there's more.
Oh, good.
The Twins finished their worst season ever, 59-103, with a win over the White Sox, 6-3.
Worse than this season?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
That was a bad year.
Who was the manager?
Horrible year.
Molitor?
That was Molitor's last year as manager. Right?
No.
Yes.
No, because I'll tell you this, Spark Boy.
What?
October 2nd, on this date,
October 2nd.
2018, manager Molitor was fired a year after taking the Twins to the wild card game and being named manager of the year.
That's right.
So even though the Twins
Gardy.
finished their worst season ever in 2016, Molitor must have managed in 2017.
Oh.
Well, wait a minute. That wouldn't have been Gardy, would it have, Johnny?
Well, Gardy would have been 2016, right? Wouldn't he?
Well, Molitor managed more than 2 years.
Well, look it up.
I'm looking right now.
I'm looking at
You guys
kolaczkis.
are exhausting, seriously.
Really, really are.
Pains in the ass.
And Matt's not even here today.
God, none of this
Where
matters.
is he?
2016.
What was 2016?
Molitor started managing in 2015.
Gabe,
So,
you
yes,
should post this
it's
on the
Molitor.
Facebook tonight. Post this garbage.
So he had 15, 16, and 17, and 18.
And 18, correct.
Yeah.
And they did much better in 17 and 18 than they did in 16.
Well, yeah, that was their worst season ever.
Are you done? I have one thing before we
Yes, go ahead.
go. I think we should, the four of us should join hands and bow our heads and just say, go Red Sox, go.
Yes.
Go get them, Red
Yes.
Sox, come
Yes.
on.
Not let the
Go,
Yankees win.
go.
They're playing tonight, huh?
I think you all should kiss
No,
my
no,
Rosie.
no,
Well, never mind.
no. We don't want the Red Sox.
Yeah, we
I mean
do.
the Yankees.
We don't want the Yankees.
We want
I don't
the
like the
Yankees.
Yankees. But you know what? I don't like the Red Sox either.
No, see what you do, Joe, is you apply the Chris Reavers way of watching baseball. First, we have to get the Reds or the Yankees eliminated. Then we want the Red Sox to get eliminated. Then we want the Dodgers to get eliminated.
Yes.
It's just a process of elimination, is what this is.
Yes.
And then we want Seattle to win the whole thing. That's
That'd
how
be
we.
fun.
That's how we root for baseball.
That
See?
would be fun.
Yes. Anywho's.
Wrong.
Look for us on YouTube. That's right. Garage Logic is a dedicated YouTube channel where you can watch the show each and every single day starting right around noon. And you can even listen to us bicker at one another on the Garage Logic Town Council. Find out more. Sign up today at garagelogic.com.